Welcome to Design of Structure. In previous lecture, we are going to solve some example of analysis and design of doubly reinforced section steel beam. Okay. From them study and analysis, I am going to give you a task regarding the analysis and design. First, we are going to I need to tell you that this example is solved by yourself, and in case of any query let me know. Let us start the question. Find tension and compression steel area required in RC beam. Beam dimension is given in 300 into 600. To resist factor bending moment 325, take 50 mm cover both sides. Use M20 Fe 415. Here the question is find tension and compression steel. Okay, this example meant to design example, and I want to give some another example of analysis. Hmm. This example is also similar to the GTU example. The problem is a beam 250 mm by 500 mm effective depth deep is doubly reinforced with two numbers of 16 mm diameter compression steel and four number of 20 mm diameter tensile steel. Effective cover to both sides is 50 mm. Material grade of M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. In this question, we are find moment of resistance of doubly reinforced beam section. These both examples are solved by you and submitted me later. Now we are going to discuss another example which give us the comfort of the chapter. The problem is a reinforced concrete beam of rectangular section 300 mm wide and 600 mm deep is reinforced with tensile and compression reinforcement, four numbers of 20 mm diameter and four numbers of 16 mm diameter, at an effective cover of 20 mm both sides, respectively. Calculate the factored moment assuming concrete makes M20 and steel Fe415. Collect the data. We have data as FCK grade of concrete 20 Newton per mm square. Fy, which is Fe415, is equal to 415 Newton per mm square. AST in problem, they give us four number of M20, four number of 20 mm diameter bar at tensile reinforcement side, from which we get four number of 20 mm diameter. As I say earlier, area of steel is equal to pi by 4 d square is into number of bar given from the problem. Pi by 4 into d is equal to 25 into d 25. We get some particular 25 mm diameter bar area. Multiplied it with number of bars, we get 1963 as a total AST of four number of 25 mm diameter bar. Similarly, for ASC, they give us four number of 16 mm diameter bar In that case, we can do the same process and do further solution. Now find FSC and FCC. Indian standard sometimes neglect FCC because its value is very low comparatively to FSC. But in this case, we are take FCC to get nearer value of the answer. FCC is equal to 0.446 FCK. Put the value of FCK, we get 8.92 Newton per mm square FCC. Now to get FSC from IS for SP16 page number 30 table number F, we need D dash and D. D dash we have is 50 and D is equal to 550 is equal to 0.09, which is similar to zero point 0.1. And from that table, I also told you to memorize that table. We get the FSC value is equal to 353 Newton per mm square. Now to find moment of resistance, we need to find some data like XU. For that, we have equation C1 plus C2 is equal to T. But we know that there are some values of C1 plus C2 and also T. Put that value in this equation, we get 0.36 FCK B into XU FSC minus FCC into ASC is equal to 0.87 F5 into AST. In this equation, we have all the data except XU. That's why to pivot the XU and all data are take to the opposite side and we get XU is equal to 200 mm. Now XU max from IS 456 page number 70, we get the equation of XU max is equal to 48 into D, which is 264. That so that XU is less than XU max. That's why the analysis are going to an under reinforced section. That's why we use mu C1Z1 plus C2Z2. We also know that the value of C1Z1, C2Z2. Put all the data of C1Z1, C2Z2 into this. That take put this value into the mu equation. We get 0.36 FCK B into XU bracket D minus 0.42 XU bracket over plus in bracket FSC plus FCC bracket over into ASC into D minus D dash. Put all the value we have into this equation, we get the final answer as a mu is equal to 339.63 into 10 raised to 6, which is similar to 340. We take mu is equal to 340 kilonewton into meter. Here we are going to complete our chapter at this end. In case of any query and doubt, let me know or questioning on WhatsApp or mail. Now we are going to start our new chapter as a T-beam. This is sound as tie beam, but it is not actual tie beam. Beam is different from the T-beam. The content covered in this lecture is concept of T-beam, stress strain diagram for T-beam, position of natural axis to decide type of beam, moment of resistance of beam, design of T-beam, flowchart for T-beam and analysis of T-beam. Let us start the lecture. In many reinforced concrete structure, and particular In floor system, a concrete slab is cast monolithically with rectangle beam. In such construction, a portion of the slab above the beam behaves structurally as a part of the beam. In compression, the slab portion is called the flange and the beam portion is called wave. I again in a future explain what is flange and which part is wave. If the flange projections are on either side of the rectangular wave or rib, the resulting cross-section resembles the T-shape and hence it called T-beam. On the other hand, if the flange projection is one side acts as the end of the slab and the another end of the slab, we can't consider it is a T, but it's behave like a L shape. That's why sometimes T-beam is called L-beam and it is inverted as L and is termed as L-beam. Now, flange beam. Flange beam is types of two, T-type and L-type, also called T-beam and L-beam. From the figure, we idealize that this is the slab and these are the our beams. But some case, some heavy structure, we need to design some portion of slab which are connected to the beam are considered as beam and design as beam. That's why we require to design T-beam and L-beam. We can show that the shape of L-beam and T-beam in which sorry hmm, in which the upper layer of beam which connected and including in the slab is called flange and the rest of the portion which not including in the slab is called wave. Let us discuss some other section of flange beam. Here the formula to get the depth, direction and dimension of that slab which is considered in a beam is BF is equal to L0 divided by 12 plus 3DF plus BW. In case of T-beam, its equation are going to change like BF D is equal to L0 divided by 6 plus 6DF plus BW. From that equation, we can get the length of the beam which are in slab. Now effective width of flange. These are the same equation we are going to study in effective depth of the flange. But let us check how it's work. An equivalent width of the slab with uniform stress distribution can be assumed to act along with the beam. For strength, calculation is called the effective width of the flange. In the absence of more accurate dimension, the effective width of flange may be taken as the following, but in no case greater than the width of the wave plus half the sum of clear distance to the adjacent beam on the either side. For T-beam, the equation is BF is equal to L0 divided by 6 plus BW plus 6DF. Similarly, for L-beam, BF is equal to L0 divided by 12 plus BW plus 3DF. For isolated beam, the effective flange width shall be obtained as below, but in no case greater than the actual width. The equation change for isolated beam like T beam is equal to BF is equal to L0 divided by in bracket L0 by B plus 4 plus BW. Similarly, for L beam, the value are totally divided by 2 because the L beam is only at one side and the total focus is on that L flange. That's why equation we include 0.45. Rest of the equation are similar to the above. Let's clear the nomenclature of this beam. BF is equal to effective width of flange. L0 is equal to distance between point of zero moment in the beam. BW width of wave or rib. Thickness of flange. B is equal to actual width of flange. In next lecture, we are going to discuss concept of key beam and rest of the data.